Get out of this building and all the surrounding
Be lawful.
property.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Stay there.
What are you doing?
Grab an arm, mate.
What are you doing?
When the badge turns silent, the body cam speaks. Rights violated.
This episode features Audit Ed, so make sure to check the link below, subscribe to his channel, and give him the credit he deserves. In this video, Ed is just filming in a police station car park when an officer turns a simple situation into a big problem. The officer grabs Ed's equipment, pushes him, and unlawfully handcuffs him. His attitude seems aggressive, like he's looking for trouble instead of handling things properly. When Ed tells another officer what happened, they quickly start making excuses that don't even make sense. Ed later sends all the video evidence to H&K solicitors, but their response is shocking and makes it difficult to move the case forward.
I'm just talking on the radio. I'll be with you.
Am I detained?
I'm just talking on the radio.
Am I detained?
You have to wait a minute.
Am I detained? No, I won't be waiting. You're not going to speak to me properly. I'm not going to be waiting.
Sir, you are on private property.
No, I'm
going to ask you to leave.
Listen, can I just explain something?
No, you listen to me.
Oh, no,
You're
so
on
you want to
private
give me
property.
directives?
I'm directing you to leave my premises.
Your premises?
Yes, the police
You're
premises.
You are the owner of this premises, are you?
If you fail to leave as a trespasser, you remain here after I've directed you to leave. It is aggravated trespass.
No,
which is,
no, excuse
which
me.
Is an
I have to
arrestable
listen.
offence.
Can I just explain to you? You don't know the law
I'm
because
directing you to leave now.
No. We're going to have a conversation first.
No, we're not.
Because
I'm
you're not going to
asking you to
violate my. What are you doing?
I'm asking
Why are
you.
you assaulting me? Why are you assaulting me? Why are you assaulting me? Why are you assaulting me?
Right.
Why are you assaulting me?
Is there anything
I'm walking out. Why
is
are
there
you
anything
assaulting?
I can reasonably do
Why
or
have you got
say
your hands
to
on my
get you to
chest?
leave? Is there anything
Why
I
have you
can
got your
reasonably
yeah.
do or say
Yeah, there is.
to get you to leave?
Yes, there is.
What is it?
Be lawful.
Get out of this building and all the surrounding
Be lawful.
property.
What are you doing?
PC Jenkins comes out already believing he has the right to control the area, and that attitude is what causes the whole problem. He quickly starts talking about private property and aggravated trespass, as if just saying those words gives him power. But aggravated trespass only applies when someone is deliberately stopping lawful work, and Jenkins doesn't even try to show how Ed's filming is causing any disruption. When Ed says he is walking away, that should have been the perfect chance to calm things down. A reasonable officer would have let him leave and ended it there. Instead, Jenkins holds on to him and goes straight for handcuffs, not because the situation got worse, but because he had already decided to use force and didn't want to back down.
What are you doing?
Stay there.
What are you doing?
Stay there. Grab an arm, mate.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Directed you to leave.
I'm leaving. I'm walking out. I'm literally walking out. I'm literally walking
You're
out.
gonna go on the floor as well.
I'm literally walking out.
You're going to go now?
I'm literally walking
You're
out.
going to go now?
Look, I'm literally almost out.
Well, you are out now.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you going to stay out, or are you going to stay out and continue to shower?
If you uncuff me, I'll have a reasonable conversation with
No,
you.
I'm not having a reasonable conversation. I asked you to leave. You refused.
What law did I
Right.
break, sir?
Trespassing.
Trespassing is a
Once
civil
I've-
offence, sir.
Once I've directed you to leave.
You didn't give me a chance. You were stood
Once
in
I've
front of
directed
me.
you to leave, is aggravated trespass.
Sir, is your body camera on?
No,
Please
you're
activate.
recording for me, though,
It's
aren't
not
you?
recording. The light's not on. Look.
what
Please
a
activate your
pity.
body worn.
My body one's been on the whole
Okay.
time.
There you are.
What crime have I committed?
No crimes.
So why am I in handcuffs?
Are you going to stay out of this premises?
Why am I in handcuffs,
Because
sir?
you weren't following my direction.
But I haven't broken the law, sir.
PC Jenkins shows his true attitude when the question about the body camera comes up. A professional officer would simply turn it on. Instead, Jenkins makes a joke and says, "No, but you're recording for me." That shows he doesn't want an official recording that could later hold him accountable. It's not just a joke, it's deliberate. He likely knows the footage would force him to follow rules he has already ignored, so he keeps the camera off to protect himself. When Ed asks why he is in handcuffs if there is no crime, Jenkins says, "Because you weren't following my directions." But that's not a legal reason to detain someone. An officer's directions alone don't create the power to arrest, and not following them is not automatically a crime. By his own words, the handcuffs weren't about safety, suspicion, or the law. They were about Ed not obeying quickly enough for Jenkins' liking.
So it's asked you to leave.
I haven't broken the law, ma'am.
You
Why am I in
are
handcuffs?
trespassing.
Please take the handcuffs
You
off
are
me. You've hurt me,
trespassing.
look. You've hurt me.
I've
Look at my
directed you
hands.
to leave.
I'm out.
Are you going to stay out?
I am
of here?
out.
What is your intention now if I take these off? Are you going to leave?
You'll be receiving a complaint about this, constable. What's your number, please?
There.
No, I can't see it anywhere. I'm looking at you. I can't see it.
It's there.
Where? 2406. What's your name?
2406.
Your name's 2406. What station are you from, 2406?
Headquarters.
Head Q, yeah? So you've already seen me there, and you've already seen me.
I haven't seen you today.
Okay.
It's the first time I've met you in my life.
But I've just been at HQ, and I've got told that I'm okay inside.
I want you to not come inside this
right.
premise, which is private.
You're going to be receiving a
wish
civil
you
claim,
not
sir,
want
for
you-
assault and battery and trespass to the person. Excuse me, lady. Which one of you? I just want to ask which one of them took my camera. Which one of you took my camera out of my hand, please?
PC Jenkins refuses to properly identify himself because he knows that once his name is linked to this incident, he can be held responsible for the decisions he has already made. Giving only a collar number when asked for his name is not confusion about policy. It looks like a deliberate attempt to avoid accountability. Officers are expected to provide both their name and number so members of the public can report concerns if needed. But Jenkins avoids doing that as if it's something to fear. When Ed points toward the female officer who grabbed his camera, Jenkins steps in and physically blocks him, stopping him from even indicating who was involved.
Excuse me, lady. Which one of you? I just want to ask which one of them took my camera.
It may seem like a small action, but it clearly shows how he is dealing with the situation. Instead of answering questions or addressing the concern, he tries to shut down even the smallest attempt to talk about what actually happened.
Which one of you please took the camera out of my hand? Could you
Can you
please
see
tell
this line here?
Which one of you please took the camera out of my hand?
If you come back over this...
Which one of you please took the camera out of my hand?
Come back over this, you will be
Please
arrested.
get out of my face.
right?
For what, sir?
For trespass.
Trespass is
aggravated nature.
You have to intend, sir. What was the necessity for handcuffs? An assault, battery. It's assault and battery. There has to be necessity for handcuffs.
You can use reasonable force to remove someone from
Okay,
property.
but asking them to leave would be reasonable force if they're trespassing, which is a civil offence, right?
When they asked, did you leave?
He was stood in my way. I couldn't leave.
Ultimately, I'm not in a position to speak for somebody else's actions because I
No,
wasn't
but
there.
you're a police
Same-
constable, and I'm
same-
trying to report a crime to you. Just because it's a policeman who assaulted me is by the by, sir.
No, I'm not saying that.
I have it on video, an assault on video. Would you like to see it?
No, I don't want to see it because at the moment, from what you're telling me and from what I've heard, the description of the incident on the radio, there was no assault. You were removed.
I was handcuffed.
Yes.
For what reason? I've got a cut. I've been handcuffed. I've been assaulted. For what reason?
You were handcuffed to remove you to prevent you from causing any harm, or.
But I wasn't gonna. I was doing a lawful activity.
You were. We don't have people in the backyard.
Is it unlawful?
When Ed reports the assault to the second officer, you would expect him to at least try to understand what happened, especially after being told that the whole incident was recorded on video. Instead, the officer quickly shuts it down by saying, "I don't want to see it." That response makes it seem like he isn't interested in finding out the truth, but more focused on backing up his colleague. By refusing to watch the footage, the officer makes up his mind before even looking at the evidence. It's an easy way to avoid dealing with the issue. If he doesn't review the video, he doesn't have to admit if anything was done wrong, file a report, or question another officer's actions. Ed is offering clear proof, but the officer refuses to see it because the truth might force him to step outside his comfort zone.
You have to understand the disproportionality here, right? From my perspective. I go to the headquarters where the office for the Police and Crime Commissioner is, and police officers there on the same day show me around, right? I come to a different police station in the same town, and I go to exactly the same place, i.e. the car park, and I get handcuffed and thrown out. Now, that is disproportionate, do you not think?
That's your opinion of it.
No, it's a fact.
As I said, that's your opinion. If you believe it's disproportionate, then you're entitled to call
Why
a report and make a complaint.
But I'm trying to do that with you.
But I'm not the appropriate person to talk to. I'm not the person.
But you're a police officer, and a crime has
Correct.
been. I believe a crime has been committed against me.
From what I understand of it, I don't think there has been a crime. If you believe that what the police officer has done was disproportionate, then that is entirely.
Can I ask you a question? A law-related question.
If you believe it's disproportionate the action that was taken, then you can call and make a complaint against that officer. It's not appropriate for me to be dealing with that because that is one of my colleagues.
When the officer says he's not the right person to deal with it because the suspect is his colleague, he is basically admitting he doesn't want to do his duty. A police officer can't step aside just because the person accused is wearing the same uniform. If an ordinary member of the public had grabbed Ed, pushed him, and interfered with his equipment, the officer would likely have acted straight away. But since it involved another officer inside the station, he suddenly claims there's a rule stopping him, even though no such rule exists. Telling Ed to call and make a complaint is just a way to move the issue into paperwork and avoid handling it directly. Frontline officers are supposed to take action when a crime is reported, not send victims off to file forms simply because dealing with a colleague might be uncomfortable.
It's not a fair process, is it?
Of course it is.
It's
You
not.
all take oaths. You all take oaths to
Absolutely.
uphold the law.
Absolutely.
So when somebody,
However-
it's irrelevant whether it's another police officer. Let me ask you this: if you were with your partner, if you have one in your car, right, and let's say he'd had a really stressful day or he'd had really stressful time at home or whatever, right, and you interacted with a criminal who had done something wrong. You had your criminal handcuffed behind his back. He wasn't a threat to anybody, and then your partner came up and punched him straight in the face. Would you arrest your partner?
No.
Why?
The reason being is because there again, I would have to follow the same process as you. There are things I have to do. I would then report that to our professional standards, and they would then investigate.
So in that case, that means that I can set a policy saying that if I break the law, instead of you guys arresting me, what you have to do, because it's the way you're supposed to do it, is to contact my PR department, and then we'll release a statement. Do you see how that doesn't work, sir?
No, I appreciate where you're coming from.
When Ed gives that example, he isn't exaggerating. He's presenting a situation where there is only one lawful response. If a handcuffed and compliant person is punched, that is clearly assault, and any constable knows they have the power to arrest a colleague if a crime happens in front of them. The officer still says no, not because he lacks authority, but because he has already decided that misconduct by a colleague should be handled through internal procedures instead of normal law. Ed's follow-up question makes the issue obvious. If officers can hide behind internal processes before facing the law, why can't members of the public do the same? The officer can't properly answer that because the logic doesn't hold up. His position only works if accountability goes one way, toward the public, and never applies to officers themselves.
You literally refuse to have a look at the crime. Like, I appreciate the fact that you're trying to be calm and collected with me. I do appreciate that because a lot of officers just get angry.
Well,
so I respect you. Well, he did. He got angry, handcuffed me, and pushed me out. But I appreciate you staying calm. But the fact of the matter is, sir, is you're not fulfilling your duty as a constable right now.
Okay. Well, as I said, I've given you the advice to the best of my knowledge of what you need to do to report this incident. Now, if you choose not to do that, that is entirely up to you.
Well, I'm waiting for a sergeant anyway.
Okay. I apologise that I've been able to.
Don't apologise for not.
To satisfy what you were trying to get.
I wasn't trying to get in. I was trying to get.
No, I appreciate what I'm saying is you weren't trying to get anything from me, but obviously you were trying to report something. From my understanding, is not a crime. We obviously have.
What is the point in me even waiting around? It's pointless. If you're saying that, the sergeant's going to say exactly the same thing, isn't she?
Well, it's entirely up to you. If you would like to wait around and speak with her, then that is
pointless. It's pointless, man. But I'm just absolute joke.
The sergeant refuses to review the evidence, refuses to question his colleague, and sticks to the same story the other officers have already decided on. When Ed says it's pointless to escalate the complaint, he's not being negative, he's being realistic. There's no point moving up a chain of command if every level is going to give the same answer. HNK sent a formal letter of claim, giving the police force 21 days to respond. This is usually the stage where you would expect some accountability, but the problem is that the whole process depends on the police force cooperating. The paperwork was sent and deadlines passed, yet the force simply ignored HNK. That's not confusion, it's a choice not to engage with the claim because they know the system allows delays. As one commenter pointed out, unless someone has enough money to fund a long legal fight, a police force can delay and stall until it becomes too expensive to continue. HNK didn't drop the case because Ed was wrong. They dropped it because the force made it financially unrealistic to pursue. If Ed had tens of thousands of pounds for legal fees, the case might have continued. But for most ordinary people, cases can collapse under the weight of costs. In that way, the system can create a kind of unofficial protection, not by proving officers acted lawfully, but by making challenges too expensive to maintain. PC Jenkins acted as if the space belonged to him personally. That's why he grabbed Ed without clear reason, refused to turn on his body camera, and avoided properly identifying himself. His actions didn't look like a simple mistake, but a pattern of avoiding accountability. The second officer also had a chance to calm the situation and do the right thing, but instead he refused to watch the video, wouldn't act on a reported assault, and even admitted he wouldn't arrest a colleague for a clear crime. He exposed his own position through his answers. In the end, Ed followed the proper legal route and handed the case to HNK, but the force ignored it. Instead of addressing the issue, they chose to stonewall. When a force avoids answering for its officers, it doesn't protect policing, it damages public trust in it.